Hey guys, welcome back to another Joseph Fowler Maker video. This week we get to tackle the Venetian plaster, a little bit of painting, and some trim. What I know is quartz primer is done, and that is the first step for us to do our Venetian plaster. First coat, you let dry overnight, and then second coat, you do wet and then burnish it. And that's what gives you that stone-like appearance. We're making progress. With trim for 35 minutes and putting one piece up. I didn't just get one piece up, I got like several. I got the trim from here all the way over to where the Venetian plaster is gonna start in this corner. Now, I can't go any further than this because I have to Venetian plaster it, and then I can add the trim because the trim is going to be painted like a green color, the same as the rest of the trim over here. Yeah, I'm going to continue with doing this. It is really hard to do one person. If you got two people, it'd be a lot easier. Unfortunately, the big part is the trim hanging over the end here, and I'm trying to cut it, and you know, flops all over the place. Half the kitchen's done. Is first coat of Venetian plaster. We've got two different types of trowels for tighter spots, less tight spots. You gotta get your Italian Venetian plaster trowels. I don't know, I think they're just a different size. And I mean, obviously they make them that they're nicer and worse, you know. These ones were kind of middle of the road, not too expensive. I think it was like 30 bucks for both of them. Big difference is one's got angled at the top, one's completely square, but this allows you to, when you're burnishing, you can kind of get like a good push with them. Get it all down in there. It's gonna go on pretty dark, like a nice sage. When you're doing this, guys, you want to get a little bit on your trowel, get it on the edge, and then you come in, you squeeze it out, and you get it in. And then you kind of just go in, squeeze that edge, and push it back. Not leaving too much on the wall, but not taking everything off. So I can feel that grit from that quartz primer, which is really nice, helping me out here. So you see that, you pick it up, you kind of let the drizzles fold back onto it. Big thing we're trying to avoid is tool marks, because we don't want people to be able to see how we applied this stuff. My thought is that I'm doing it and I'm almost adding, the original amount I'm putting on is almost too much. I've noticed it is a really great idea that I basically tarp the floor, because I'm really bad at keeping this stuff on the hawk. I'm getting better. I want this to look kind of natural, like a marble or just like a green. Well, I mean, I want it to look like plaster, but okay. I'm gonna clean off my tools. We're gonna set it up in time lapse, and we're gonna pound through the rest of this wall. Now, hopefully I don't get it absolutely everywhere. I probably will, but you know, we're getting it. That's the first coat done. Now, it gets a lot lighter when it's dry. I'm happy of that, because when it's wet, it makes this room feel a lot smaller. But we got it done, so relatively painless. Tomorrow with the second coat, it's gonna take a lot longer because you have to go back regularly and burnish the surface. But I went through so much plaster that I feel like I definitely needed that drywall hawk wherever it ended up. Oh, right back there. Okay guys, so I got this area is burnished enough, but now we're gonna start burnishing this. It's dried enough. Probably this area too is dried enough. You're really scraping most of it off the surface, but when you burnish, you're working it all back into the material. But that's what we're going for, that look. And you can see I'm getting more product on my tool. That means that that side is probably not quite ready for it to be burnished. So I'm gonna stick to what I got over here, kind of go back over it, and we'll stop for a little bit, get everything burnished, and then we'll move forward. $12.29. That's a record here. That means I got the second coat done in basically the same amount of time I got the first coat done. That's including all the burnish. I do really love the texture. I mean, it is really cool. The final step of this is just to let it dry 100%, and then we got a soap wax that goes on. Not a lot of people are gonna have this now. If I was to do this again, I would have picked a much lighter color for this in the hopes that the dark parts were the same color as the light parts. But, you know, I don't think that's much of a complaint. It's just like personal taste. Well guys, I want to say that's it for this section. I'm going to hit one last little area, but you guys don't need to worry about it. This is the biggest area where you can see that sheen coming through. Isn't that awesome? Notice one thing to keep in mind, if you put too much wax on, you're going to end up with these white areas, and if you end up with that, you can get rid of them, but it just requires a lot of burnishing, or should I say buffing. So I'm going through here. I've added a second coat over the oven. I'm gonna do that basically where the camera is now, where the sink is. And then once that's done, we're done. And yeah, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you would do this in your kitchen. I think another way you can seal these is with polyurethane. It's a porous material, so you could do a poly, but I'm really loving this hand burnished, hand finished look. I just think it's got an elegant sheen and a really nice, really nice feel to the hand. And I'm hoping that this is waterproof enough that it will last a long time. Otherwise, we'll see. Maybe I'll throw a coat of poly on, you know, next year if I find it staining or what have you. But you can always fix it. I'm loving it, guys. Let's keep going.